Hello everyone, my name is Rocky. Welcome to my channel. Although focus on energy industry, energy worker also commit to the whole world, especially environment. This time, we will discuss why the green energy transition is critical for the world's carbon neutrality. In modern society, carbon is used in almost every industry in the world. It is used as fuel in the form of coal, natural gas, and crude oil. It is used in the manufacture of a variety of materials, including plastics, rubber, fibers, clothing, and carbon steel. It is even used to making for printers and paintings. We may know that carbon is the fourth richest element in the universe. Carbon can easily be combined with other elements. It forms more compounds than any other element. It is stored in the Earth's atmosphere, terrestrial ecosystems, ocean circles, and littoral rings in the form of carbon dioxide, organic matter and inorganic matter. It is the main element of many rock formations, such as limestone and marble. Life can't exist without carbon. About 20% of the biological weight is carbon, such as sugar, starch, fat, oil, DNA, RNA. Carbon is constantly cycled through carbon fixation and carbon release. Carbon fixation refers to the absorption of carbon dioxide by photosynthesis of plants, the dissolution of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere by seawater, the absorption of carbon dioxide by saline alkali soil in arid areas, the formation of carbon-containing rocks, and the use of artificial technology to convert carbon dioxide into chemicals or fuels. Carbon release mainly comes from the respiration of plants and animals, the consumption of fossil fuels, the decomposition of carbon-containing rocks in the lithosphere, etc. When carbon fuels burn, we mostly get three things: heat, water, and carbon dioxide. Do you know that burning 1 pound of coal produces about 3 pounds of carbon dioxide? And to light a 100-watt bulb for 1 year requires burning 700 pounds of coal, which creates 2,000 pounds of carbon dioxide, and release other small amount of nasty stuff like sulfur dioxide, nitrogen oxides, coal ash, uranium, thorium, mercury, etc. Since industrialization, the consumption of fossil fuels has increased sharply. The balance of the Earth's carbon cycle has been disrupted, as all that carbon stored in all those plants and animals over hundreds of millions of years is getting released into the atmosphere over just 100 or 200 years. Carbon dioxide, CO2, is a greenhouse gas that works to trap heat close to Earth. CO2 is so good at holding in heat from the sun, that even a small increase in CO2 content in the atmosphere can cause Earth to get even warmer. Throughout Earth's history, whenever the amount of CO2 in the atmosphere has gone up, the temperature of Earth has also gone up. And when the temperature goes up, the CO2 in the atmosphere goes up even more. The global average atmospheric carbon dioxide in 2019 was 409.8 parts per million, ppm for short. Carbon dioxide levels today are higher than at any point in at least the past 800,000 years. According to statistics, since 1850, the global temperature has risen by 0.9 to 1.2 degrees Celsius, and the sea level has risen by 20 centimeters. Especially in the past 30 years, the global temperature and sea level rise have accelerated, with the temperature rising rate reaching 0.2 degrees Celsius every 10 years, and the sea level rising rate reaching 0.32 centimeters per year. This leads to many environmental problems such as rising global temperatures, melting glaciers, and rising sea levels. Our environment is facing unprecedented threats and challenges. This leads to many environmental problems such as rising global temperatures, melting glaciers, and rising sea levels. Our environment is facing unprecedented threats and challenges. By the end of this century, if the global climate warms up to 2 degrees Celsius, sea level rise will reach 36 to 87 centimeters, 99% of coral reefs will disappear, about 13% of ecosystems on land will be destroyed, and many plants and animals are facing extinction risk. Therefore, reducing carbon dioxide and other greenhouse gas emissions and limiting global temperature rise have become the urgent goal of all mankind. In October 2018, the United Nations Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, IPCC, put forward the goal of carbon neutrality to gradually restore the balance of Earth's carbon cycle, protect the ecological environment. The first goal of carbon neutrality is to reduce global carbon dioxide emissions by about 45% by 2030 compared to 2010, and then achieve net zero carbon dioxide emissions by 2050 to control the global temperature rise at 1.5 degrees Celsius by the end of this century. Carbon neutrality accelerates the low-carbon and green transition of the energy system and brings new economic growth points to the world. According to the Energy Transition 2050 report released by the International Renewable Energy Agency, IRENA, carbon neutrality will bring an additional 2.4% of global GDP growth and an additional 7,106 jobs in the energy industry. However, it is also going to change the living mode of our society, especially the current energy industry. As carbon dioxide emissions caused by human activities mainly come from the consumption of fossil fuels, it can be expected that more and more efforts will be put into the development of new energy, the realization of energy transition, the reduction of fossil energy consumption, and the construction of a green and low-carbon energy system. World energy underwent several revolutions. The energy source changes from solid like fuel wood and coal, to liquid like petroleum, to natural gas. With these changes, the strength of carbon and energy source are declining. Now the transition to carbon-free energy starts. It is more and more clear that the world energy industry will change, as currently the main market is on carbon-based fuel consumption. However, the energy industry will change but not disappear. Actually, the world needs more energy for the development of human society. The current carbon-based materials industry will not be replaced. The transportation industry will still rely on hydrocarbons for a long time. It seems the mission to reduce carbon footprint and achieve carbon neutrality will be majorly fall to the shoulder of our energy industry. Because to capture, transport and store the carbon dioxide needs significant amount of energy, and energy industry is the only industry that has the technology, strength, and capability for the mission. So, let's change and bring the world a new and better energy industry. Alright, that's all for today. If you like my video, please click the like and subscribe button. Thanks for watching. See you next time.